Alright, I want to look at the economy of this game a little bit, and I want to answer a very important question. So your grenades and your consumables run out, and they do run out quite quickly. If you want more of them, you have to get them in crates, and so far, it doesn't seem like you get that many, or you have to buy them. Obviously, the game is incentivizing you to buy them, or you can just play without them. I don't think playing without them at all is a great idea. They make a big difference. So I want to look at a very important question. Should you buy grenades in this game? And I want to look at that from a free-to-win perspective, a free-to-play perspective, and a pay-to-win perspective. So first we need to look at the actual economy of the game and how it works. Obviously designed to confuse you a bit. So if we go in the shop, you can see there on the left hand side, the money box, if you save that up, it's £2 for 1,000 gold. So that's the actual cost of gold, not this other nonsense over here. So £1 for 100 gold, ignore that. It's £2 for 100 gold. See also there, I can get 25 for free by watching an advert. If I do that, that translates to the equivalent of 4.5 pence for watching that advert. There's two main currencies in the game, there's gold and there's credits. We know that you get credits from game rewards, you get them from crates, and it's kind of the idea that I think that's the cheaper currency within the game, or that's the impression it's supposed to give you, but I don't think that's the case. So if we look at the conversion rate here, 1,000 credits for 100. I know if you buy larger stacks it doesn't translate to that, but let's, for simplicity's sake, let's say 1,000 credits is equal to 100 gold, or 20 pence in real life, or 20 cents if you're American. I'm going to be using pounds sterling because I'm English, and that's what makes sense to me. So it's 20p for 1,000 credits, essentially. So let's go back and look at the items. So you might think the cheapest one, the Boomberry, which you can buy with cash, is the worst of all the grenades, but that might be the one you feel most incentivized to buy. 700 credits buys you a stack of 10, so that translates to 14 pence for the purchase in total. That makes each grenade that you throw cost 1.4p in real term. Compare that to the demolition dot. You probably think, don't spend gold on the equipment because gold is your in-game currency. But 10 gold buys you a stack of 10, so that's 2p for 10 or 0.2 pence per grenade. Significantly cheaper than the Boomberry. The Apocalypse Blaze, this is 0.3 pence per grenade. And the Burst Nest, 0.4 pence per grenade. So in terms of overall monetary cost, the cheapest stack of grenades is actually the Demolition Dot, not the Boomberry. It's also better than the Boomberry. Along to the tactical. Your smoke grenades, they're going to cost you 1.8 pence per grenade. Incredibly expensive for what is essentially not a good item. Flashbang's even worse, 3.6 pence per flashbang. Again, not worth it. Now let's compare that to the Poison Veil. Much better. This does a lot of damage. This is a really good grenade. Poison Veil, 0.2 pence per grenade, in line with the other one earlier. Much cheaper. Glacial Grasp, I've not actually played with this yet, but that is more expensive. That is 0.4 pence per grenade. So in terms of your tactical grenades, Poison Veil is the cheapest. It's also probably the best, although I can't say that with certainty, having not used the Glacial Grasp yet. Then we've got the med kits. So both the heal needle and the nano syringe, it both costs 1,000 cash for 10, which obviously translates into £1 per stack. Sorry, £2 per. Start that again. Translates into £2 per stack, and that turns into 2 pence per heal. Quite expensive. Of the two, I actually prefer the heal needle because it heals quicker, and that's really important. The nano syringe does have a nice movement speed increase. However, the premium one, the one that is, you probably think you're not supposed to buy, 30 gold for 10, this translates to 0.6 pence per heal. And that is, again, much more efficient from a cash perspective. So counterintuitively, I would say if you're going to spend money on these items, you should buy the Spec Ops Sanctuary heal, the Poison Veil grenade, and the Demolition Dot grenades. Those are the cheapest grenades in the game. So now we should move on to the question of, should you buy them at all? Well, I was using these like hotcakes when I first started playing, and I started running out of items pretty quickly. And what I realised is you want to have some of these items in the game. Now, you could play with them and just use them all the time willy-nilly. And doing that, obviously, that's going to rack up some significant costs in the game. However, I looked into this. If we go in the shop here, so you can see, for £2, I can buy 1,000 gold. That 1,000 gold could translate into 40 stacks of the Demolition Dot, 40 stacks of the Poison Grenade, and 40 stacks of the Healing Needle, which is basically 400 of each item for £2, if you were so inclined to do it that way. So if you wanted to play pay to win, you could pay £2 and get 400 of each stack of items. That would probably last you quite a few games. I'm going to have a look at a game where I'm using these items liberally in a minute, and we can have a look at we can try and calculate what the cost would have been if I was doing that manner. If you're completely free to play, my advice would be to buy at least 1 stack of the Poison Grenades and 1 stack of the Demolition Dots per day. So if you look here, I can get 25 gold for free just by watching an advert. We said earlier that converts to 4.5 pence. You might think, that doesn't sound like very much. However, imagine that button didn't say receive 25 gold. Imagine that button said, watch this advert and you'll get 25 Poison Veil grenades. You'd probably press that button in a heartbeat. That's essentially what that button can say, because that 25 gold translates into 25 poison grenades. So I would suggest one of your 3 stacks of gold per day, turn that into grenades. If you're completely free to play and you're going to be not using them very often, I think you should still do that as an absolute minimum. What I'd actually recommend to players to do is to buy a minimum of 1 stack of each grenade and the healing per day, and ideally buy multiple stacks of each grenade. I wouldn't go as far to say pay the £2 and buy 400 of each item, but if you were so inclined, you could do that. Alright, so we're going to look at a game that I played where I was using a lot of these items liberally, and then we're going to translate that into monetary cost and look at, is it worth using these and is it worth buying these items? Alright, so we're here playing in Arena. Let's see how we get on. So first I'm going to run up the right hand side, try and find some enemies to kill. So standing here I managed to find a couple, so just focus on those, get a nice double kill quickly. Not needed to use any items yet. So now we're just waiting for the next wave to come in, take another person out. Quick reload there. We saw we had another enemy. We managed to do some damage there. 1, 2 kills, and now we're falling back and we use our first heal at 2 pence. Throw a grenade at 0.2 pence. Alright, so killing these people or trying our best. Under the cosh a little bit, so just falling back. Make sure I switch my weapon, so I'm currently now using a sniper rifle. And oh, just missed out there, someone moving a bit too quick. There's one here, so zoom in, bang, we hit one, bang, we hit again and again and again. Nice, so that was a good double kill we got there. So we hit another heal at 2 pence. So far I think we've spent 3.2 pence. All right, another grenade, so 0.2, so we're up to 6 pence and 6.4 pence we've spent so far. As you can see, we're doing really quite well. So another grenade at 0.2, that we're up to 3.8 pence that we've spent there, and getting plenty of kills there. The poison mist doing as well. Our turret does go down. So I'll switch to the shotgun now because I'm running out of stuff. Run forward, kill this guy. Taking a bit of damage there, so I'm just falling back. Alright, wait for the next wave coming in. So there's a couple of enemies here, so we'll run forward, bang, 1 kill, bang, 2 kills. So not doing too badly really. So we hit another heal, that's an extra 2 pence. So we're now up to, I think that's 8.8 pence if I remember correctly, or 8.6. So spent nearly 10 pence in items in this game. Hit another heal and get killed, so that takes us above 10 pence, so to 10 pence and 10.8 pence I think we're up to there. Get killed again. As you can see, the game is now nearly over. Just need a few more kills to get the win. And there it is. Alright, so 10 pence used in that game to, well, just under 11. So to me, that says that your £2 will buy you approximately 20 games worth of items. Quite expensive. So I do think you should buy grenades, but use them reservedly, not liberally.